Okay, today I'm in my little small town of East Ridge, Tennessee. I'm gonna let you see where I'm at, and that's our city hall right there. That's our city hall right there. We have our event center right there. They building another event center. That's the police and fire station, which is combined together. But you want to ask, let me see if I can turn this around, because you know I ain't good at this stuff. But anyway, we're going to just walk and talk. This is our area park right here. This is our major park. And, but I want to talk to you about the something that happened recently in the elections and how that affects us, the outcome and the how should I say this, the comments that are being made. See, recently a lot of women were voted into the certain positions in Virginia, some in Georgia, New Jersey, but the main one is New York. New York elected the first Muslim, how should I say this, Muslim in a mayor. They voted a Muslim mayor. And you know, at some point we have to, you know, I'm walking around to this, you know, a lot of people are saying, I am ready to leave. I'm going to New York. And the state of Tennessee said, hey, we'll take you. You New Yorkers, come on down here to Tennessee. Come on down here. We'll take you. So the backlash behind that is that a lot of whites are coming on and saying, hey, we don't want you if you're going to come down here with your voting lifestyle. We only want you if you're going to come down here and not disrupt our way of thinking, our way of living, our lifestyle. Well, I can't begin to tell you how many gays and lesbians and biracial children that I have seen in the Chattanooga area. Oh, it's like here, this is like Atlanta on a much smaller scale. So I can't begin to tell you how many down low men are in Chattanooga. Or better yet, how many so-called Christian folks that are in Chattanooga. It's one man, it's a pastor here that has a church on Sunday, and then he have a hookah and what else? A hookah and a club Monday through Friday. Yeah, look at that. Look how pretty. Look how pretty that is. See? That's how pretty it is. So anyway, so it brings to attention that you might want to ask, why is it that these folks that sit here and talk about Christianity, why would they be so worried about the lifestyle? Because you know what? Because we got a senator that sits here and she spew out racial slurs and call undocumented folks illegal and praise how Trump is fixing Memphis, even though that 700 to 800 people are being pulled over every day. That's a lot of people. Do you know how many times that you divided it up, one person divided by 24 hours? I think you might get pulled over 4 to 5 times a day in one day. Just think if you're going to work and you get pulled over all them times on your way to work, and how long a stop takes effect. But you got that's what you're dealing with. So Mudami became mayor of New York, and Tennessee is opening up his doors, saying, come here, come on over here. We got a racist governor, we got a racist senator, she's running for governor. So this election is all about what Tennessee really says. See, Georgia and change they tune. See, Georgia started, electing some Democrats and stuff, and Mississippi changed its tune. They broke the Republican supermajority in the election Tuesday. A lot of states are going Democratic, not just Democratic, they're getting Democratic fighters, not Democrats. It's just that so they can say the name of Democrats. So this is going to say a lot about Tennessee, especially Memphis, since Memphis is the predominant Democratic city. Y'all keep voting for the same mess over and over and over and over again and expect the results. Now, I'm not going to tell you that just because the Democratic Party is not doing anything. We all knew. I knew that when Rachel got in, Rachel was not going to do anything for the Democratic Party. After all, she's toxic. Everybody in Hamilton County knew she was toxic. They knew her behavior. They knew what type of person she was, but yet they helped her get in, or however it was, they helped her get into that seat. And now people are walking away from the Democratic Party. I wouldn't give 2 dimes of shit to the Democratic Party, but I will give to the Democrat that's fighting. We have to realize something. Sometimes when we get too old to do something, it's not wrong for us to pass the torch to our younger opponent, our younger person, as I'm trying to say, I'm getting tongue twisted, to help us, win the fight. But now in the Democratic Party in Tennessee, we have to deal with backbiting. And some of y'all in some other states, backbiting and people plotting against you, and they trying to get their friends in, and they know that their friends are corrupt, but because they black or because they their friends, you hang on to them. This election is more than just getting your friend or whatever in office. It's more about that. It's a democracy, and until it took a lady that ran for Congressman, Allison Gorman, that said that Tennessee is always the caboose of the civil rights. Why? Why are we the caboose of the civil rights? Why is Memphis so laid back and allowing things to happen? See, this is what happens when you ask for that watermelon and chicken reward. You want something so small, you willing to give up so much for something so small. Because you still, like I said, you got the front runner who is making tracks, Jerry Green. But the question is that she says she's a mother. Okay, well, a lot of black folks is mother, a lot of white folks is mother. Is it because she's a mother that we should elect her for governor? Or should we see what she's really capable of doing? It's another candidate, not gonna mention no name, well, I will, Cornita. And, at first, I like her spirit, her fight. But then I realized something, that when you have an unbridled mouth and don't know what to say, and you saying stuff that's that's no better than Marshall, I can't swing with that. See, right now we need somebody that's gonna be in Tennessee, that's gonna fight for Tennesseans. that bring us together. Because right now we are broken. We are so broken in the state of Tennessee. The racial rhetoric has come out, and it comes out every day. You know, I'm so tired of seeing Trump and all this stuff he's doing. I started watching cartoons. Because after all, you know, how are we going to become together and heal if we don't get back together? You ain't got to like the person that you live next to, but you can respect them. See, that was the difference back then during the civil rights. It wasn't that we were supposed to like our neighbors, but it was the fact that we had to respect them. And I remember even looking at old footage of how when the first black person family moved into an all-white community, the things that they had to face, the horror that they had to face. Now we're putting that on anybody that's brown. We're asking people now about their religion. If we don't agree with their religion, then we turn around and say they're not Christian, or if they have a funny name, then they don't agree to our ideals, they're not American. So this is where we stand at right now. This is where we are looking at right now. We're looking at people racially profiling you based on your name, your color, and your religion. Yeah. So at some point in our life, we're gonna, I didn't know that God was that God appointed somebody to come here and dictate how people are supposed to be living. I didn't know that. I'm out in your way. I'm gonna get out your way, cause y'all walking faster than me. Okay. So right now, we have to ask ourselves this question right here. We have to ask, how far is racism is? Well, of course, we have a million, maybe more, that are racist to the core. It is nothing that you can say or do that's gonna change the way that they are about individuals. You have some folks who are using the church to cover up their sexual lifestyle, their hate. But then you have some that's out in the open with hate. Tennessee, I think we can do better than that. I think we can do better than Marshall. I think we can. I truly believe we can do better than that. See, you see my little thing? Yay. I think we can do better than Marshall. I think we need to send back those that can bring some kind of normalcy, democracy to this country. But not just anybody. And not just anybody for whatever reasons. When we go there, ask them to modify, reform what is going on. Because you know what? Them same programs that Trump has taken away, that Marsha Blackburn has taken away, that Marjorie Taylor Greene has taken away, these same programs that they're taking away, Americans need them now. See, you having folks who are on federal furlough now that is coming up with the idea that, you know what, voting for him wasn't a good idea because they're not going to get paid. You have folks now wondering what services he's going to cut off. And then he got mad because of the Democratic Party endorsed, a blue wave Tuesday. He said, fuck America. So that goes to show that he don't have no kind of consideration for nobody here. You can't stop people from, even in Russia, a communist country, you still have gay folks there. You can't, it's not your job to sit here and tell somebody who's going to heaven and hell. Your job is to preach to whatever it is and go try to live your life. Because whether you know it or not, this shit been going on. All this shit you trying to control and modify and stuff, this shit been going on for ever since this world began. And what makes it more different is that the main one, the 34 count felon who's trying to control this shit, how you gonna control crime when you the main criminal? That's what I'm trying to figure out. How you gonna control the crime? And then you know what? We need a governor that's gonna be a governor, not a fruity. When I say fruity, he's so weak and pathetic. He just letting something go on, or somebody that's so used to, she wants to be governor so bad, she would lick a shitty ass. That's how Marsha Blackburn is. She want that position so bad. And he gave his approval that she would lick a shitty ass. An accident must have been happening. You gotta, you know what, when you gotta be really, really bad, you got to be really hard up that you would definitely sell your soul to the devil. You would lick an ass. You would lick somebody's ass to become something on this, to become that. See, that's just like how J.D. Vance is. He want that position so bad. If, you know what, by any means necessary. And when I say any means necessary, I mean any means necessary. And he ain't gonna try to wipe out the wife. He gonna try to wipe out the family. See, you got some desperate, evil folks in administration that really don't care about nobody but themselves. See, you got to be a heartless man to have a party when 42 million plus millions of people are about to go hungry. See, you got to be heartless. But see, you got some evil folks that's happy that this is going on, that excited that this is going on. That's why, you know what? It's some folks that ain't gonna be touched. It's some that's gonna be touched a little bit. And then it's the wrath that's gonna come along with these evil, low-down folks. Like I said, I don't doubt that food stamps, you know what, these SNAP programs, they are, you know, a lot of people take advantage of it. Like that white couple that took $20,000 and not reporting the wife's income. You got, you know, but they so used to seeing black women, and one of them did an AI with a black woman with a nasty shirt on with bugs crawling on her wall talking about she sell rib sandwiches. See, that's the stereotype that they want you to have. They want you to have with the community. That's how they get off. I hope y'all enjoying this walk in the park, because we really need it. But that's what they want you to have. They want you to have that all black women are lazy. They living off the system. They getting their hair done, their nails done, and all that. I'm not gonna lie. You know what? When I was getting SNAP benefits, I did not go to that office looking like a hot fucking mess. I went very appropriate. In fact, I looked better than my caseworker. I looked very well. I look very well. Just because I'm on food stamps don't mean that you don't know when a person got on food stamps. Maybe they lost their job and had to get on food stamps. But see, people so busy to think that if you get food stamps, you've been on it all your life. Or you've been on it you ain't had no bad situation. See, especially when it's come to dealing with black folks. They think we've been on it all their life. You pull out a card and they think you've been on it all your life. You don't want nothing. It's a lot of people that are losing their jobs. They faced with financial difficulty. And we must address this. But then you got some Trump supporters that's been struggling and going through this and using the system too. And at the same time, talking about cutting it. Because they ain't talking about cutting for them. It was cutting it for you, the lazy one. The new requirement is coming up now where you got to have some kind of college to be able to get disability. See, because they think black folks ain't going to college. They think white folks going to college. But that's going to hurt. Yeah. Madami did what he was supposed to do. He changed the course of the Democratic Party. We need to change the course of what we thinking now and how we thinking about the way we vote. And when you sit here and say that voting don't matter, that voting don't help, it's gonna be the same. If this administration didn't teach you shit else, it should teach you that you know what, you vote like your damn life depend on it. When Ice Cube said, "Don't let nobody make you feel like that somebody was murdered or died so you can vote." Yes, they did. They died. They got murdered. They got assassinated. They got lynched. And that's the way we need to think. We need to think like they thought in the 60s, like your damn life depend on it. Because you know why? Because right now, your damn life is dependent on it. That's what we need to stop thinking. We need to stop thinking that everything we've been taking advantage of everything that our forefathers have done. And now we're in this mess. We've been sitting here thinking that every vote don't count. Why you think you got some jigaboos that sitting here saying that vote don't count? Now, they vote may not count, but yours are. Tennessee, this is a time where we need to show unity with each other. We don't have a Democratic Party. We got a Trump Party. We got a Republican, and then we got a Trump Party, ran by somebody who should have never been a chairperson. We need to stop sitting here letting the Tennessee Democratic Party appoint their fucking friends and shit, especially a toxic ass person that shouldn't have never been in there, because this fight is great and she's not trying to bring the unity of whatever it is together. What she's trying to do is she trying to get a check and keep with Trump agenda, because she was mad because Nikki came to be the chair. And Nikki better watch her ass, because it's not over with. It's not over with her. We need to demand that they remove her. But don't let the Democratic Party stop you from voting. Look at the candidates. Start looking at what they do, how they do it. What have they done for your city? What have they done? And if they ain't did shit, don't just get on social media and say they ain't did shit. Vote their ass out. Speak up. Ask them questions. Don't just sit there and say, well, I ain't vote. That's how you got in this shit. Let's start off with. You let them know that you know what, that position is not just for anybody that want to claim it, that they're going to have to fight for it, that they're going to have to earn it. One thing I can say, and I'm going to end this about the new mayor of New York, is that he had so many obstacles. I remember when I was married, and I was married to an Indian that looked like an Iranian and a Mexican, and how we was at the grocery store shopping, and this white man came up and called him Osama bin Laden and told him that he ought to kill him at the store. Yeah, this was in Kroger in Memphis. Kroger in Memphis. My husband had long hair. My ex-husband, he had long hair. And he had long nails. He had nails. And he told me to go to the car and sit there. I said, should I call the police? He said, no, don't call the police yet. When I was walking off, he told that man, if you come up on me, he said, I'm going to show you what the fuck Osama bin Laden looked like. You don't run from when somebody is talking crazy. My name alone has been getting folks getting up in my face. But I guarantee you, it depends on what day it is and where I'm at, is what kind of attitude you gonna get from me. We out in public, you gonna get a cussing you ain't never had. I done had more white folks with their mouth open telling them go fuck themselves and eat a dick than anything else, because you don't get up in my damn face asking me, am I an American? Am I Christian? Do I believe in God? That ain't none of your damn business. Because of my name. But you know what? I'm proud of him. He met an obstacle, and instead of him, denying who he was, he embraced the Muslim community. Because we got to stay. If you want to sit here and say that Muslims are terrorists, then you go say that white boy, what's his name? I can't think of the one that blew up the Oklahoma building. You and his friends, that you go and say that, you know what, then they wasn't Muslims. They wasn't Muslims. Come on now. These white folks that's going up in these damn stores killing everybody, they ain't Muslim. They supposed to be Christians, supposed to be Trump supporters, Republicans, about family and life. But they going in here taking everybody's life because they feel like you doing something more than them. So this is what we is in America. Take back America. And my motto is, damn it, you don't have to like me, but fuck, you better respect me. Y'all, let's get in Tennessee, let's get together. Stop acting like, you know what, we can't do nothing. That's what they want you to think. That's what they hoping you think. That you would just say, well, you know what, ain't shit gonna change. Well, okay, this year, in less than a year, shit has changed. Do you still feel that way? Do you still feel that not voting don't count? If you do, then you lay down and die. But the rest of us, we got work to do.